So I decided for myself that I'm uploading 31 videos this month. So I missed an upload the other day because I was out, and I'm deciding that I'm gonna make up for it today with 2 videos. 5 things that need a nerf and 5 things that need a buff. I know it's sort of a dumb way to, pad my video library, but this is just a personal thing for me, so I'm doing it. So 5 things that need a nerf. And if you disagree with any of this, feel free to let me know in the comment section below, argue with me, tell me I'm wrong. But this isn't about, I want these things nerfed into the ground and broken. Some of these things I just would like to see rearranged, reworked a little bit so that they're a little less efficient in certain ways or a little less annoying in certain ways. It's not so much that I want everything to be useless. That's not it at all. Everybody gets really up in arms when you say you want something nerfed in Call of Duty these days, like as if some things shouldn't be nerfed to at least rearrange the meta and make the game fresh again. So anyway, starting with nerfs the TAC-56. I know this gun has gotten a few changes here and there, but I still think that it is way too accurate with mobility attachments. If you tweak this thing to be good in close quarters and just to be a much faster assault rifle than maybe it should, it's still incredibly accurate. And I think for that low of accuracy, if we want to keep that feel of the gun intact, that's fine, but the movement speed and the handling speeds need to be brought down considerably to match that recoil. The TAC-56 with just a sack and tread 40 to compensate for recoil and something to help with some idle sway, it is literally like an old school Call of Duty laser beam. It feels like I'm using the Scar L back in Modern Warfare 3. And that's a little accurate for this game. A lot of other assault rifles have a lot of visual kick. They travel up and to the right or up and to the left, they zigzag. The TAC doesn't, so I think the 56 needs a nerf. The next weapon that I think needs a nerf is the Hemlock. I love the Hemlock, it feels really good to use, it's very nostalgic. It's basically this game's ICR-1 from Black Ops 3, and that is very cool, but I will say its aim down sight speed I think is a little fast for how hard this thing can hit. I die to this thing in close quarters a lot. If it's gonna have this damage and this recoil, it's gonna be this easy to use, because it's essentially a better TAC-56 in some ways with a slightly lower fire rate, but it's a better TAC-56 because it is better at getting 3-shot kills. So what I think they should do is do 2 of these 3 things. Sprint to fire speed nerf, aim down sight speed nerf, or hip fire nerf. If it's gonna be a low recoil, higher damage, long range assault rifle, then you know what? That's fine, but let's not let it control close range engagements. The reason I'm making this isn't because it's a heavily used weapon, it's the engagements that I die from it that bother me. If you kill me at like mid to long range with it, I feel like that's what the gun was designed for. But using those sort of longer range builds in close quarters I think is just too effective right now. So I think nerfing these sprint to fire and hip fire is the way to go. Maybe it's aim down sight speed, but maybe aim down sight speed and sprint to fire, whatever. I just think it's controlling close range engagements more than it should. If it's gonna kill in that few of shots, it needs to be a little bit slower, because clearly that lower rate of fire is not enough. The next is the KV broadside. This thing is still a skillless spam cannon, and it's really sad because this game had, in my opinion, as somebody that doesn't like shotguns or respect their usage outside of the fact that yes, you have to control your engagements on maps that are filled with buildings, that must be so flipping hard for you. Anyway, I would say that the Expedite 12 and the Lockwood were balanced. The Lockwood only has 2 shells and then it has to reload. It's more of a longer range heavy shotgun. Then the Expedite 12 had a slower rate of fire, a good amount of recoil, and has to be loaded 1 shell at a time. Then they add the broadside, which is a mag loaded, higher fire rate, spammable, just annoying weapon. I don't know why this is here. It's so heavily customizable. So many different barrels and stocks and things you can do to make up for any nerf they do to it, so I'm a little nervous about even saying this because they could nerf it and then somebody could figure out a build that's just roughly as annoying as the old one. But I just think that after your second shot, your pellet spread should be insane. If you can't kill me in those first 2 shots, then you didn't control your engagements very well. You didn't plan things out very well. If you need 3 or 4 shots to kill me, I don't think you're very good at the game. I don't think I have to respect you. The Tempest Torrent and the LMS both sort of penalize you for, being a little bit reckless with your spamming, because after the first shot, the recoil kicks up and then kind of recenters after the next few shots. And that's fine for the DMRs. DMRs are versatile, but the shotgun, while not versatile like a DMR or an assault rifle or even an SMG, in the niche that it's good at, can be just so frustrating. And this game is full of buildings and choke points and areas to lock down. Nobody needs 25 rounds of consistent pellet spread firepower. I know the KV broadside got a nerf, I just don't like the fact that this game was balanced when it came to semi-auto firing shotguns, and then they add this mag-fed monster that I don't think really has a place in the game. I hate shotguns like this anyway. And this shotgun's no exception. My problem with this thing was not the Dragon's Breath rounds, even though that was a problem. That was obviously a bug. My problem is that somebody can hit me twice, and their third follow-up shot comes at no cost to them. I'm sorry, if you need 3 shots to kill me with a semi-auto shotgun that can kill in 1 shot, then I don't think you should be using it. I think that larger mag should be for show. I think you should have to wait for it to recenter after that second shot, because I think it should be decent recoil, heavier recoil, and then anything past that second shot should kick up. So, you know, kind of get used to pop, pop, and then let it relax for a second. You can still clear a room with 1 magazine if you're smart, but you don't just get to wail into me with 3-4 shotgun shells from across the room as you slowly encroach on me, flinching me off target and whatnot. Like, I just don't like it. And also, if they were gonna nerf it, I would say just remove flinch from the shotgun. It does not cause flinch to enemies. I don't care. If that makes any sense, I would love it. Now, the next 2 things I want nerfed are not so much weapons, but environmental conditions, let's say. Explosive shell shock needs to go. If you haven't noticed, grenades going off next to you, even when you have bomb squad, you know, stuns your screen a little bit, stops your character from moving, and makes escaping after like setting off a proximity mine, even if you prone and it goes over your head, it stuns you, it locks you in place for a bit. Like having a frag grenade go off next to you, even if it doesn't kill you, keeps you from moving. This was sort of a thing in COD World War II, everybody hated it, and I feel pretty confident saying nobody likes it here either. This feels like a campaign asset that's designed to add more immersion and intensity to the game, but it doesn't have any place in multiplayer, so please get the shell shock out of the game. And the last thing I want nerfed is flashbangs. I just want their radius reduced, I want the duration reduced. I know some people have done some testing to see that, oh, it's not so bad because it's comparable to other COD games. I don't care. In this specific COD game, I don't really care about the other ones, I'm playing this one. And in this one, my screen constantly looks like it had a really bad accident at a mayonnaise factory. So I would love it if they would just reduce the radius, reduce the duration. I don't care if it's comparable to other things in other COD games. I'm playing this COD game, and in this COD game, the meta is throw a flashbang into every room before you enter it, and every objective needs to have a million flashes thrown on it. I would say we're done with it. We just can nerf them into the ground. People will start using stuns and snapshots and stims and heartbeat sensors. Nerf the hell out of them just to make the game more fun. My goal is not to make sure everything works. I would say make the game more fun. Right now, flashes are hurting the fun of the game. To make people go use other things, make them go use other things. So yeah, the TAC-56, Hemlock Broadside, and Explosive Shell Shock, and Flashes. The 5 things I want nerfed in Modern Warfare 2. I want to thank my live stream chat for helping me come up with these ideas, and the next video will be the things I want buffed, and that will come out later today. Thank you guys so much for watching this little video, and I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.